Hello everyone, welcome to Emmy's Bookshelf. Welcome to my weekly wrap up for October 1st, October 7th. So I did not do weekly wrap ups in September, but I'm doing them this week because I did read enough to warrant an actual video. So I have a couple books here, but I read a lot of ebooks and all of them were really great. I don't think I had a bad book yet this week. Actually, that's not true. Let's talk about that one last, shall we? Let's go from best to worst. I don't normally do this. I just normally go in chronological, but we'll just do best to worst. So the first thing is the best book I've read was The Lost Boys at Barlow Theater, which is by Jamie Jo Wright. It comes out on Tuesday and it was a 5-star. It was just so good. I really enjoyed it. It was just like spooky and gothic-y, but also interwoven. Like the dual timelines are amazing. So it follows Kit, who is in our modern day timeline. Her friend is doing a ghost show where there's like a psychic and they try to see if there's any ghosts in the theater, but then her friend goes missing and suddenly it becomes a missing person case in a haunted theater. Really creepy, really cool, really enjoyed it. And the second timeline, I enjoyed both timelines a lot. That's why it's 5 stars. But the second timeline was of Greta, who was in 1812, I believe, 1815, not 18, sorry. I'm mixing up my numbers here, 1915. And she attends the theater with her friend, but when she goes, she sees a woman throw a baby off of the balcony and she screams, it makes a big ruckus, and there was no woman or baby. And that's the start of it. She also has a very interesting story that goes on with her family as she's trying to figure out the mystery of what happened, what she saw, and if it's real or not. But then also her brother ends up going missing in this process and trying to find him while also keeping her family out of the poorhouse. Very interesting. I really loved it. And I definitely give it 5 stars. Both timelines are incredible. I just think it's another amazing book by Jamie Jo Wright. You should definitely check it out. It comes out on October 10th. I almost said August again. It comes out October 10th or 9th. It's the Tuesday. You should definitely pick one up and read it. It was really good. And I'm thinking, because I've kind of teased at the idea before about doing a Christian fiction book club, that maybe Jamie Jo Wright would be the way to go. And like as a first book, so we can all talk about what we want after that. So I'm thinking The Lost Boys at Barlow Theater might be a good book club pick. Check out the synopsis and let me know if you agree or disagree. Okay, so next for 4 stars, I actually read 3 of these books today. I'm filming on the 7th, so I'm kind of like squeezing them in. But I read the 3 books in this Magic Treehouse graphic novel series. So I read The Night Before Dawn, Mummies in the Morning, and Pirates Past Noon. I've read the other 2 on ebook, so I can't show you them. But they're really cool. They have a fun art style. This is a middle grade series, and I think it's definitely a really great look at the books that she had written so long ago. I really like how it still has the chapter breakdowns and how it all works. If you've never read the Magic Treehouse series, I did read almost all of them. Well, I read the ones that were out at that point. There are 2 more out now that I need to read, and I'm on my waiting list for it. But the way the series works is in groups of 4. It kind of is like a little mini arc within the book series. So these 4 introduce the Magic Treehouse, the mysterious owner of the Magic Treehouse, and how all of these things connect. That's really cool. And then I can't remember what the next one follows, but there'll be like different kind of riddles they have to solve or different kind of people they have to help, which is just really fun that they're all in these groups of 4. So this was the end of that first pack. And the next one is Night of the Ninjas, which I'm on hold for at my library because I don't want to get behind on the series. I really enjoy reading them and they're so quick and easy to read. They're also all 4 stars. Sorry, I forgot a 5-star. So I actually read The Little Book of Little Brontes by Sarah O'Leary. This was an arc that was a picture book. It's about the Bronte children, so about the 3 girls and their brother Bramwell, and how they love to imagine things and how their life wasn't so simple and easy. It really covered some things, and at the same time it touched on hard things, but it didn't stay there. And I think it was very appropriate for a children's book, because for me, if I was going to be reading this to my classroom at daycare, I would want my kids to learn the value of being creative and being imaginative and holding on to family. And that's what I'd want them to take from it, not the grim story of all of them dying before getting married or how the family line dies out. I wouldn't want them to know all that until they wanted to learn more. I would want them to learn about how they make this magical world and how they can create things with these soldiers, these toy soldiers, which were so cool to see. I definitely recommend picking this one up. It was a 5-star, and I was really happy to read a little bit of backstory about the Brontes in a children's picture book that wasn't overly gruesome and gothic. Editing Naomi here to say I forgot a book, which was the Vanishing Vampire, which is one of these clue books. These books are really fun. They're full of puns. They're full of like cheeky comments, and they're all about these 6 clue characters who are constantly trying to kill Mr. Body or steal all of his stuff. This one actually was pretty good. Well, they're all pretty good. They're not great. They're not like 5 stars, but they're fun, quick, easy reads, and I really enjoy dipping my toes in and reading a quick, short, little mystery book that you can try to solve, and I sometimes don't. But yeah, definitely worth reading. I love the series. I grew up on it, and I'm happy I read it this month, and I'm confused why I forgot to put it in my lists. But I now have it fixed that, and I will hopefully continue on soon. But back to the rest of the video. The next one I read was All's Fair in Love and Christmas by Sarah Monzon. This one's about Jeremy and Mackenzie, who are told that they are up for promotion at their office workplace. But the thing is that basically the owner of the company, whenever she does a promotion, it's basically subconsciously based on who has the most Christmas spirit. So basically they have this work rivalry trying to get the promotion because Mackenzie's mom has a lot of healthcare expenses, and in the States, you don't get free healthcare like you do in Canada. And then in Jeremy's life, he has his twin niece and nephew who he has been raising, and that's going to be a lot of college, and he is overwhelmed by the amount of financial responsibility, which he is happy to take on, but he thinks a promotion could be very helpful for all of that, obviously. So they're fighting and duking it out over making Christmas cookies and wearing Christmas gear, setting up a Christmas tree. They're duking it out in true Christmas fashion, trying to have the most Christmas spirit so they can win this promotion. However, things obviously go awry. They start spending more time together, and as they do that, they realize that maybe something there, but I really love something else about this book. So Mackenzie has really difficult social anxiety, and I really loved seeing that come out on the page with a woman who can be fun and have she can have this charisma with her friends and family, but when it comes to social situations, she really is struggling to be in an environment that stresses her out and gives her that panic. There was even a panic attack written into the book, which I was so glad to see. So this showed a lot of good mental health rep in it, and it showed a lot about the need for acknowledging social anxiety and how some people could work through it. The author did say that she hasn't been diagnosed, but she does struggle a lot with social anxiety. So I really liked that it was her own experience coming through the page. And basically it just turned into this really fun Christmas rivalry romance book, but it had a lot more deeper layers to it, which I really liked. So that was definitely a 4-star and an ARC. It came out in September, but you should definitely check it out for your Christmas reading list this year. I think it is well worth it. Now on to the last book that I read, which was a 2-star. And there's a vlog coming out about it because it is my first Stephen King ever. I have never read Stephen King before, so I decided this October, I'm gonna just do it. I probably chose not a great one, but I was like, you know what, at least I'll see Stephen King's writing style. I'll see a little bit about how he writes. This one was, I would not say horror. I feel like this is really supernatural or sci-fi as opposed to horror. So in case you can't see, because I guess the sticker is covering it, it's Elevation by Stephen King. Now, Elevation it was weird. But boring. I'm going to share all my thoughts in my vlog that I filmed of me reading Stephen King for the first time. But basically, I thought this was not worth my effort. And I'm glad I chose a short Stephen King instead of like The Stand or It, which I would never pick up It, by the way. If you know my reading at all, you know I'm not a big horror fan. But I was trying to just test myself a little. So anyways, this one is about a man. I can't remember his name right now. He was that blank to me. This was told from his perspective a lot. So it's not like you read his name a lot. But he is losing weight at a rapid speed, considering he doesn't look like he's losing any weight. His body is the exact same, but he's dropping like 5 pounds a week, and it slowly increases. Also in this book feature a lesbian couple who are the talk and the pariah of the town, and he is trying to make connections with them. I didn't like this one. Got a 2. The sentence structure, the ogling of women's bodies, like seriously, I don't need to hear how short someone's shorts are and how awesome their butt looks every time that you talk about that character, especially when they're a woman. I don't need that. So I've heard that complaint before about Stephen King, so it wasn't a shock. But I was like, yeah, this is kind of a prominent issue. And this is a short book. Like, this is 150 pages. So, yeah, I was just not super keen on it. And I'm glad I have finished my first Stephen King. I don't know if I'll ever read him another one by him. I have Misery on my shelves, but I don't know if I'm going to read it, to be honest. I think that one might be interesting, but that might be a next October project. I don't know. Okay, what I have been reading, or what I'm in the middle of, I started the audiobook for Peter Pan, which is read by Lily Collins, I believe. It's on Audible. And I am like 25% of the way through. I'm not very far. This book has 2 different books in it itself. It has Peter Pan and Peter Pan in Kensington Gardens. So this book isn't a good interpretation of how thick the book is, but the audiobook's like 4 hours. So I think I'm about an hour in, and I have another 3 hours to go. And I mean, I've read Peter Pan before. I know Peter Pan, the character, is not a nice guy, but it's kind of annoying me how not nice guy he is. So yeah. And then the other thing I have started, and I'm trying to actively read, is David Copperfield. I am not far in. I am on page 80, and my copy has like 760 pages, 770. I'm reading this with Lou, who's one of my subscribers, and Lizzie from Lizzie Faye Loves Books. So we are reading this together. I have been a little slow on the pickup of this, but I am really enjoying it. It is really depressing in some regards. And I just kind of want to gloss over the hard childhood, but I am enjoying it. So this is my one of 2 books on my Victober TBR. So once I finish this one, I'll be finished 3 of the prompts, which, I mean, I don't need to do the prompts, but it's nice. So that's what I'm actively reading. And then I've also started an audiobook, or not an ebook that I had, I think I might have mentioned it a little while ago, or maybe I mentioned it in my wrap up. I haven't edited yet, but that's coming up tonight's plans. I've started reading To Win a Prince by Tony Shiloh. I think I'm like 20% in, and this is a sequel to the book In Search of a Prince, which is basically a Cinderella, or not Cinderella, but like the Princess Diaries in Africa story, which I really love the first one. The second one is about her friend and one of the male characters, which I don't want to spoil the first book for you. You should really check it out though. So that's what I'm also in the middle of. And other than that, I don't have much. I do need to start my Agatha Christie, The Clocks. I need to start that really soon. But I haven't found an ebook of it or an audiobook of it. So I'm going to wait till my brain can handle a physical read. But yeah, that's what I've been reading. It's been a good week aside from Elevation, and Elevation still showed me I don't want to read Stephen King. So good overall. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you have been reading in the last week, any new favorites, or if you've read any of these books and you'd like to talk with them in the comments, I'd love to do that as well. Thank you so much for watching, and please leave a like and a subscribe and hit the notification bell, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.
In a house that I don't know,